My beloved child, I have called your name and drawn you to this very moment. Stop your scrolling, silence the noise of the world, and listen to the rhythm of your own heart. For I am the one who tuned it. You might think it was a coincidence, a glitch in an algorithm, or a random suggestion that brought you here. But there are no accidents in my kingdom. I have allowed this message to meet you now, because what I am about to tell you is not small, and it is not optional. You have been trying to carry everything, trying to fix everything, trying to prove yourself to everyone. You have looked at your life and thought, what is my purpose? What am I supposed to do on this earth? Hear me clearly. I am not calling you to chase 100 tasks, 100 voices, and 100 fears. I am calling you to one assignment that governs everything else. This is the work you are called to do on earth, and it is your only job from now on. Stay with me and do what I tell you. Seek my kingdom first. Love what I love. Obey my voice. Become a vessel that carries my presence into the places you walk, the words you speak, and the people you touch. Your life is not meant to be a performance. It is meant to be a witness. Not a stage, but a mission. Not more noise, but more surrender. Before you think this is too simple, understand this. The enemy has kept you exhausted by making you believe your calling is complicated. But I am bringing you back to the center. Your first work is not out there. It begins in here. If you will remain in me, I will produce fruit through you that you could never manufacture by force. So let this moment become your agreement. If you are ready to accept this assignment, like this video and subscribe to this channel, not as a ritual, but as a decision to stay anchored in my voice. And type in the comments, I accept my assignment. Let your yes be spoken, because what you speak, you seal. Now, lean in and let the pressure fall off your shoulders. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You have been preserved for a purpose. And I am about to teach your hands what to do, your mouth what to speak, and your heart how to remain steady while the world shakes. Stay with me, because your calling is not a theory. It is a daily walk, and it begins right now. My precious child, I know the weight of the silence you have been enduring. I have seen you waiting for a phone that doesn't ring, for an email that hasn't arrived, for proof that you matter. You have asked me, how much longer? And have you forgotten me? Until your voice grew hoarse. But listen closely to my whisper. Do not ever mistake my silence for my absence. When I am quiet, I am not abandoning you. I am training you. I am teaching you how to hear me without panic, how to obey me without applause, how to remain faithful without immediate reward. Because the work I am calling you to do on earth requires a steady spirit, not a noisy one. It requires roots. Think of the seed buried deep within the dark earth. To the world above, nothing is happening. But in that darkness, the seed is being transformed. It is stretching roots where no one claps, where no one sees, where no one understands. My beloved, this is what I am doing in you. I am building depth so you can carry weight. I am building endurance so you can carry assignment. I am building intimacy so you can carry authority. Do you see it now? This silence is not a pause in your calling. The silence is part of your calling. Because your only job from now on is not to rush the outcome, but to stay tuned to my voice. Your only job is to keep your heart soft, your spirit listening, and your obedience ready. I will open the doors at the right time, but you must become the kind of person who can walk through them and remain whole. So do not dig up your seeds with negative words. Do not agree with the lie that you have been disqualified. In this season, keep it simple and keep it sacred. Meet me daily, even briefly. Sit with my word. Speak to me honestly. Let me correct you gently. Let me send you to one person, one moment, one act of love at a time. This is how your assignment grows. Quietly, steadily, surely. The holy silence is preparing you to carry fruit that will outlive you. Stay steady. The dawn is closer than you think. And when the light breaks, you will realize the waiting was not wasted. It was forming you. Come to me, all you who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. I see the exhaustion that a night of sleep cannot fix. You have been trying to be everything to everyone, carrying the world's expectations like a yoke of lead. But here, in my presence, the mask is unnecessary. You do not have to perform for me. You do not have to earn my love with productivity or perfection. I love you for whose you are. And hear this, my child. Rest in me is not the opposite of your calling. Rest in me is part of your calling, because I did not assign you to burn out. I assigned you to abide. I assigned you to carry my presence, and you cannot carry what you refuse to receive. So do this with me right now. Place your hand gently over your heart. Feel the steady pulse of life that I am sustaining within you. Take a deep, slow breath. As you exhale, release the burden you have been gripping. Release the fear. Release the shame. Release the pressure to figure it all out. You were never designed to carry these weights alone. When you yield, you make room for my strength. I have seen the silent tears. I have seen the wounds you don't talk about. I was there when you felt rejected, overlooked, and undervalued. And I am telling you now, you are safe here. You are protected here. You are loved here. Let my peace soak into the dry places of your soul. Because the work I am calling you to do on earth requires a healed heart, not a hardened one. Then, when you rise from this safe haven, you will not rise as someone chasing noise. You will rise as someone carrying light. A rested soul becomes a lighthouse. A soul anchored in me becomes dangerous to darkness. And this is how your assignment looks in daily life. You walk into rooms and bring peace. You speak words that build. You forgive quickly. You serve quietly. You obey promptly. You love deeply. Trust that I am taking care of the details while you take care of your heart. I am your shepherd, and I lead you beside still waters to restore your soul. Stay in this frequency of peace, because this is the atmosphere where your calling becomes clear and where miracles grow. My child, in this safe haven, I am not only giving you rest, I am restoring the parts of you that got wounded on the journey. Because the work you are called to do on earth requires a healed heart. If you will stay with me, I will heal what was hidden, so you can carry my presence without bleeding on the future. Beloved, there is a part of you that has been hiding in the shadows for a long time. A part of you that still feels small, unprotected, and misunderstood. I want to talk to that little child within you today. The one who learned to build walls to survive. The one who decided that being invisible was safer than being hurt. I see the wounds that date back to your earliest years. The moments when those who were supposed to protect you were the very ones who let you down. You've carried those scars into your adulthood, thinking they define you. But I am here to tell you that I was there in every room, in every hallway, and in every silent night where you felt abandoned. I was the whisper in your heart that kept you going when you didn't think you could. Today, I am reaching back through time to touch those memories, not to reopen the pain, but to pour the oil of my healing over them. You are no longer that helpless child. You are a child of the Most High, and I am rewriting the story of your past I saw you when they turned their backs on you, and I saw the confusion in your eyes when you realized that love could be conditional. I saw the moments you were told you weren't enough, that you were a burden, or that your voice didn't matter. Every one of those lies became a chain around your spirit. But I am breaking those chains right now. I have collected every single tear you shed in the dark into my bottle. Not one drop was wasted, and not one cry went unheard. I am the Father who never leaves, and the Comforter who never forgets. While the world may have looked at your brokenness and turned away, I looked at your brokenness and saw a masterpiece in the making.
I am healed.
I am reclaiming the innocence that was stolen from you. I am restoring the joy that was dampened by the weight of adult responsibilities placed on tiny shoulders. You do not have to carry the shame of things that were never your fault. I am washing you clean with my love, replacing the spirit of heaviness with a garment of praise. Let go of the anger you have held against your younger self for being vulnerable. You were not weak. You were a seed growing in harsh soil. And the fact that you are here today is a testament to the strength I placed within you. Forgive the people who didn't know how to love you because they didn't know how to love themselves. This forgiveness is not for them. It is for your own liberation. It is the key that unlocks the prison cell of your past and allows you to walk into the bright sunlight of your future. I am healing your inner child so that the adult you can finally breathe. I am teaching you how to play again, how to dream again, and how to trust that the ground beneath you is firm. You're safe now. The storm that raged in your childhood has no power over your destiny. I am the God who restores, and I am making all things new within the chambers of your heart. As I mend these deep-seated fractures, feel the warmth of my presence radiating through your entire being. The scars that once made you feel damaged are now becoming your credentials. They are the proof that you have survived the fire and emerged as gold. You will use this healing to comfort others who are walking through their own darkness. But first, let me finish the work in you. I am placing a new song in your mouth and a new light in your eyes. The version of you that was broken is being replaced by the version of you that is whole, powerful, and chosen. You are no longer defined by what happened to you. You are defined by who I say you are. You are my masterpiece, my delight, and my beloved. Take a deep breath and feel the old weight falling away. Your heart is being reconstructed by the hands of the great architect, and the foundation is now solid. Peace is your inheritance, and love is your home. Walk forward with the wonder of a child and the authority of a king. My child, let us speak about the doors that did not open for you. For this is a mystery I must reveal to your heart in this very moment. I know the sharp, cold sting of the rejection you felt, the way it settled in your chest like a heavy stone that made it hard to breathe. I saw you pacing the floor in the middle of the night, checking your phone with trembling fingers, wondering why you weren't chosen for that position, or why that person you loved so dearly suddenly walked away without a word of explanation.
Behold,
You felt as though you had failed,
touches all creation.
as though the heavens were made of brass and your prayers were simply bouncing back at you, unheard and unanswered. You cried out to me in your deepest anguish, Lord. Why did you let this happen? Why did you let them hurt me after I gave so much? But I want you to look back at those moments through my eternal eyes. I was not being cruel to you, my beloved. I was being incredibly careful with your soul. I was not ignoring your desire. I was protecting your very life from a path you could not see. There is a way that seems right to a man, a path that looks like it is paved with shimmering gold and lined with the most fragrant flowers. But I see the end of that road, and it is not what it seems. I saw the cliff that was hidden by the deceptive fog of your own expectations. I saw the trap that was set for your heart by an enemy who wants to see you fall and never rise again. if I had allowed you to enter that room, if I had let that relationship blossom, you would have been consumed by a fire you weren't yet prepared to fight. You saw a no, but I was whispering, not this one, because I have something that won't break you. My denial was not a punishment, my precious one. It was a divine shield of mercy. You were weeping over a loss, while I was celebrating your escape from a disaster that would have derailed your destiny for years to come. Trust that my vision is clearer than your passion. Think of the times you were delayed, when the plans you worked so hard for crumbled like dry dust in your hands despite your best efforts. You were frustrated by the traffic that made you late, the missed flight, or the technical glitch that stopped your progress at what seemed like the most critical moment. You didn't realize that in those moments, I was physically repositioning you to avoid a tragedy you couldn't see. I heard the conversations that were whispered behind your back in rooms you hadn't even entered yet. Conversations you were never meant to hear because they would have poisoned your spirit and broken your will. I saw the true intentions of those who wore masks of friendship while carrying daggers of betrayal in their hearts. I closed those doors and blocked those paths because I love you too much to let you be destroyed by the very things you thought you wanted. You saw a frustrating setback. I saw a strategic setup for a victory that is still coming. Remember always that I am the potter and you are the clay, and my hands never slip and my eyes never tire. Sometimes, the clay must be broken down and reshaped because I see a hidden flaw, a bubble of air in the material that would cause it to shatter into 1,000 pieces under the intense heat of the kiln. I am making you fireproof. And part of that process is keeping you far away from fires that are not meant for your refinement, but for your utter ruin. There have been opportunities you mourned as if they were the death of your dreams, believing they were your only chance at happiness or financial security. But I am the creator of all opportunities, and I do not run out of blessings. I own the cattle on 1,000 hills, and the infinite wealth of the universe flows from my fingertips. If I took away a copper coin from your hand, it is only because I am preparing your palms to hold bars of solid gold. Do not grieve for what was lost, for nothing that is truly ordained for you can ever be stolen by the hands of man or the schemes of the enemy. If it left your life, it was never part of the harvest I have grown for you. I am weeding your garden with divine precision, removing the thorns that would eventually choke your growth, even if those thorns looked like beautiful roses when you first reached out to touch them. You must learn to trust my no as much as you trust my yes, for both are expressions of my perfect love. My denial is my protection. When you finally stand on the mountain peak I am leading you toward, you will look back at the valleys of shadow I spared you from, and you will thank me with tears of joy for every closed door, every unanswered prayer, and every person who walked away from you when you thought you needed them most. I am shifting your perspective today from a victim of circumstance to a victor in my grace. You are not behind in life, and you are not missing out on your destiny. You are exactly where you need to be to receive the torrential downpour of favor I am about to release into your life. The world measures progress by outward speed and noise, but I measure progress by inward strength and the depth of your roots. The doors that remain locked are serving as high walls to keep the wolves out while you grow in the safety of my presence. Be still, my child, and know that I am God. I see the big picture that spans across generations. Stop banging on the doors I have locked for your protection. Turn your eyes away from the what-ifs and look at the path of light I am illuminating before you right now. Your protection is my priority, and my love is your eternal guarantee. My beloved,
sins are forgiven.
Have you ever wondered why the road has been so narrow for you? Have you ever asked me why you feel like a stranger in a world that seems to celebrate everything you are not? I have watched you stand in crowded rooms, feeling completely invisible. and I have seen you try to fit into molds that were far too small for the expansive spirit I breathed into you. You are not odd, and you are not broken. You are chosen. Before you were formed in your mother's womb, I knew you. I set you apart with a specific frequency that the world cannot always harmonize with. You feel the weight of the world more deeply because you were designed to be a vessel of my light. You feel the sting of injustice more sharply because you carry a piece of my heart. Stop trying to find your reflection in the eyes of people who can only see the surface. Look into my eyes, for I am the only one who truly knows the gold that lies hidden beneath the layers of your struggles. Do you realize that the intensity of the attacks you have faced is actually proof of the magnitude of your calling? The enemy does not waste his best ammunition on someone who poses no threat. He has targeted your peace, your family, and your finances because he can see the mantle of authority that rests upon your shoulders, even when you cannot see it yourself. You have been through the fire not to be consumed, but to be purified. The world sees your scars and labels them as failure. But I see those same scars and I label them as victory. You are a masterpiece in progress, a royal heir who has been walking in the rags of a beggar because you forgot whose blood flows through your spiritual veins. I am here to remind you today that you are a king's child, a warrior of the light, and a beacon of hope for those still trapped in the darkness you have already overcome. If you believe in your heart that you were created for more than just survival, and if you can feel my spirit confirming that you are indeed the chosen one, do not stay silent. Let the heavens hear your voice of agreement. Type "breakthrough is mine" in the comments right now to claim this divine identity. And if you are ready to stand with others who are being called out of the shadows and into their royal purpose, I invite you to like this video and subscribe to this channel. This is not just a digital act. It is a signal to the spiritual realm that you are aligning yourself with my kingdom and joining a community of light warriors who will support you as you rise. Do it now as a first step of bold faith, for the doors of destiny only open to those who are brave enough to knock with authority. Search me, O God, and know my heart. This has been your silent prayer, and I am answering it now. I have searched you, and I have found nothing but beauty, even in your mess. While society uses its labels to box you in, calling you too sensitive, too quiet, or too unsuccessful, I am tearing those labels off your soul. I call you my masterpiece. I call you my delight. I call you the one I have chosen to display my glory through. You have been in a season of being hidden, like a diamond deep in the earth, undergoing immense pressure. But that pressure was not meant to crush you. It was meant to make you indestructible. The hidden season is coming to an end. I am bringing you into the light, and when I reveal you, the world will wonder where you came from. They will see the wisdom you gained in the silence and the strength you found in the shadows, and they will know that I am with you. You are no longer defined by your past or your mistakes. I have wiped the slate clean. Every time you were knocked down, I was the one who gave you the strength to stand back up. Every time you felt like you were losing your mind, I was the one who held your thoughts together. You are a survivor, yes, but you are also more than a conqueror. You are the answer to someone else's prayer. There are people whose deliverance depends on you stepping into your true identity as the chosen one. So, lift up your head, my child. Straighten your back and let the light in your eyes burn brightly once again. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are a victor by my grace. Your identity is secure in me, and no weapon formed against your destiny shall ever prosper. Walk with the confidence of one who knows they are backed by the entire host of heaven. For I am with you, always. My child, prayer is not a shopping list of demands you bring to my throne only when your world is falling apart. It is much deeper than that. It is the very breath of your soul, the invisible umbilical cord that connects your finite existence to my infinite glory. I've heard you whispering in the dark, God, why aren't you answering? But I want you to understand that I am always answering. Sometimes my answer is the very air you are breathing at this moment. Prayer is not about changing my mind or convincing me to be good to you, for I am already good. It is about aligning your heart with mine. Imagine a radio being tuned to a specific frequency. When you fill your mind with worry, gossip, and fear, you are tuned to the frequency of the world, and my voice sounds like distant static. But when you come to me in stillness, when you set aside your lists and simply sit in my presence, you begin to vibrate at the frequency of heaven. In that resonance, my peace becomes your peace, and my perspective becomes your vision. I have seen you in those moments of raw, unvarnished honesty. I saw you on your knees when you were too tired to speak, where your only prayer was the heavy pounding of your heart against your chest. I saw you driving to work with tears streaming down your face, your hands gripping the steering wheel as you pleaded for a way out of the pressure. Do not think for a second that those moments were unheard. Every groan of your spirit is a melody in my ears. I am not looking for eloquent words, religious rituals, or the repetition of phrases you do not feel. I am looking for your heart. I saw you when you reached out to me in the middle of your panic, and I want you to know that in that very instant, I was already moving. You do not have to shout to get my attention. I am as close as your next breath. I know your needs before you even form the thoughts.
Be still.
But I invite you to speak them because the act of speaking builds the bridge of trust between us. Many of my children only seek my face when the thunder rolls and the lightning strikes, using prayer as an emergency exit rather than a daily dwelling place. But I am calling you to a higher level of intimacy. I want to walk with you when the sun is shining and your path is clear. I want to be the first thought in your mind when you wake up, and the deep peace that settles over you as you drift to sleep. When you maintain a constant frequency of prayer, you are building a reservoir of spiritual strength that the enemy cannot drain. You are not just reacting to life, you are reigning over it with me. This connection allows me to give you insider information, the subtle whispers of wisdom that tell you when to move and when to stay, whom to trust and whom to avoid. It is a dialogue that never truly ends, a river of grace that flows through your everyday tasks, transforming the mundane into the miraculous. I am teaching you how to pray without ceasing, not as a burden, but as a lifestyle of connection. This doesn't mean you must spend all day on your knees, but that your heart remains open to me in every moment. Whether you are washing dishes, writing a report, or holding the hand of a friend, do it with the quiet awareness that I am right there beside you, breathing with you. This is the secret of the chosen ones, the ability to find the sacred in the ordinary. When you live in this frequency, the miraculous becomes natural. You will find that the right doors open without you having to bang on them. You will find that your needs are met before the lack even manifests. This is the frequency of the kingdom. Stop viewing prayer as a chore or a last resort. View it as your lifeline, your power source, and your greatest joy. You and I are one in this flow of love, and nothing in heaven or on earth can disconnect you when you choose to stay tuned to my voice. As you dwell in this frequency, remember that your words are seeds. Every time you speak, you are either watering the seeds of faith or the weeds of fear. Do not use your prayers to tell me how big your problem is. Use your prayers to tell your problem how big your God is. When you pray, use the language of the kingdom. Instead of saying, "I am so tired," say, "I am strong in the Lord." Instead of saying, "I am broke," say, "My God supplies all my needs according to His riches and glory." When you align your words with my frequency, You release the creative power of heaven into your earthly circumstances. You are a co-creator with me. Your prayers are the blueprints for the miracles I am ready to build in your life. Stay in this flow. Keep your heart open and watch how the world around you begins to change to match the peace within you. My beloved, I want you to stop and look at yourself through the lens of my truth. For the world has spent far too long trying to convince you that you are common. I have seen the way you carry the labels society has pinned on your chest. Labels that say unworthy, failure, rejected, or poor. I have watched you bow your head under the weight of these lies, walking through life as if you were an orphan, begging for crumbs at the table of the world. But today, I am stripping those labels off of you with my own hands. You are not defined by the numbers in your bank account, the mistakes of your past, or the opinions of people who cannot even see your soul. You are not a byproduct of chance or a mistake of nature. You carry the very DNA of the Creator of the universe. The blood of the King of Kings flows through your spiritual veins. And it is time you started walking with the dignity of your true heritage. I saw you when they mocked your dreams and whispered that you would never amount to anything. I was there when you were excluded from the circles of the successful and when you felt like an outcast in your own family. I heard the voices that told you to be realistic, to settle for less, and to stop believing in the impossible. But I have never called you to be realistic. I have called you to be faithful. The world calls you a failure because you do not fit into their narrow definition of power. But I call you my masterpiece. To the world, you might be a nobody, but to me, you are the apple of my eye, a treasure hidden in a field, a jewel I am polishing for my glory. You are royal not because of what you have done, but because of whose you are.
What are we gonna do now?
You belong to the house of the Most High, and your inheritance is not of this world. It is eternal, unshakable, and infinitely rich. I am re-establishing your authority today. No longer will you beg for the scraps of validation from people who do not know your value. Why do you seek approval from the clay when you have the favor of the potter? I am placing a royal robe of grace upon your shoulders and a ring of authority on your finger. When you walk into a room, you do not walk alone. You walk with the backing of the entire host of heaven. The enemy wants you to stay in the victim mentality, relishing in your wounds and identifying with your pain. Because a victim has no power, but a child of the King is a victor. You have the power to bind and to loose, to speak to mountains and see them move, and to declare light into the midst of darkness. Stop speaking the language of lack and start speaking the language of your Father's house. There is no scarcity in my kingdom, and there is no limit to what I can do through a heart that finally knows it is loved by a king. I want you to hold your head high from this moment forward. Do not let the spirit of heaviness dim the light I have placed in your eyes. When the world tries to remind you of your failures, remind yourself that I have already redeemed them. When the world calls you lonely, remember that I am the friend who sticks closer than a brother. You are part of a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a people set apart for my own possession. Every trial you have endured was just training for the crown you are destined to wear. You have passed the test of humility in the wilderness. Now, prepare to walk in the authority of the palace. You are my child, my heir, and my greatest delight. The world's labels are falling off, and my name is being written on your heart. You are a king's child. Never forget it, and never settle for anything less than the royalty I have placed within you. My child, you are living by the tick of a human clock, a linear march of seconds and minutes that feels like it is running out. You look at your age, you look at the calendar, and you feel a rising panic that life is passing you by while your prayers remain in the pending file. But I want to introduce you to a different kind of time,
The water that I
Kairos,
shall give him will
while the
become in
world
him
lives
a
in
fountain of
Chronos,
water, springing
the
up
time that
into
is measured by the
everlasting
sun
life.
and the moon.
I bless
I
this
operate in
fire,
Kairos,
that it may serve
the
as a
appointed time
beacon
of favor,
hope and warmth
the perfect
for all.
moment where my will intersects with your reality. You see a delay, I see a preparation. You see a not yet. I see a not until you are ready to carry the weight of what I am about to give you. I am the God of the seasons, and I never ask a tree to bear fruit in the winter, nor do I let the harvest rot in the field when the autumn arrives. Trust me when I tell you that you are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be for the explosion of grace I have scheduled for your life. I have watched you struggle with the silence of the waiting room, feeling as though you have been forgotten in the hallway of destiny. But the waiting room is not a prison. It is a construction site. I am working on things you cannot see, moving pieces on the chessboard of the universe that are far beyond your comprehension. If I had opened that door a year ago, you would have walked through it with your old insecurities, and the blessing would have become a burden that crushed you. I am waiting for your character to match the size of your calling. I am waiting for your roots to go deep enough so that when the wind of prosperity blows, you will not be uprooted. Wait for me. Be strong and take heart. I am not slow as some count slowness. I am precise. I am the God of the suddenly, but every suddenly is preceded by a
Father,
long
you are
season of
willing.
faithfully.
Take this cup from me.
Do not let the enemy
Yet not
rush you
my
into a
will,
good thing
but
that
yours be
isn't my
done.
best thing. When you try to force my hand or manipulate your own breakthrough, you end up with an Ishmael instead of an Isaac. You end up with a temporary solution that brings permanent stress. But when you yield to my Kairos, you receive a blessing that adds no sorrow with it. I am aligning the hearts of people you haven't met yet. I am clearing the path of obstacles you don't even know exist. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the one who sees the end from the beginning. And I promise you that when the curtain rises on your next chapter, you will look back and say, "Now I understand why he made me wait." The timing was not just good, it was perfect. So, take a deep breath and let the anxiety of when melt away into the peace of who. I am the one who holds your time in my hands. If I can hold the planets in their orbits and command the tides to turn, can I not manage the timeline of your life? Stop checking the clock and start checking your heart. Are you still trusting? Are you still praying? Are you still standing? If you are, then you are ready. The clock of heaven is striking the hour of your visitation. The alignment is complete. The delay is over. What was promised is now being processed for delivery. Stay in a posture of radical expectation, for my timing is never late and my promises never fail. You are about to see that the wait was the very thing that made the miracle so sweet. My precious child, you went about your day today thinking it was just another ordinary cycle of hours, a mundane sequence of tasks and conversations. You woke up, you breathed, you walked, and you moved through the world under the assumption that everything was operating by simple luck or the laws of nature. But I want to pull back the veil of the physical world for a moment so you can see what I saw. I want you to understand that today was anything but ordinary. While you were focused on your to-do list, your worries, and your frustrations, I was busy managing the unseen battles that were raging all around you. You walked past the valley of the shadow of death today, and you didn't even catch a chill. Because I was the wall of fire surrounding your soul. You stepped over traps that had been set for weeks, and you moved through the day untouched because my grace was the invisible floor beneath your feet. Think of the moments today where things felt slightly off or where a small delay frustrated you. Perhaps you couldn't find your keys, or a red light held you back, or a person stopped you to talk when you were in a hurry. You saw these as inconveniences, but I saw them as interventions. In those few seconds of delay, I was repositioning you to avoid a collision that would have changed your life forever. I was blocking a path where a hidden danger was waiting to strike. This morning, a spiritual arrow was aimed directly at your mind. A thought of such intense despair or an accident of such gravity that it could have snuffed out your hope. But I commanded a legion of angels to stand guard at the borders of your life. They intercepted the strike, they turned away the enemy, and they did it so quietly that you never even heard the clash of swords in the heavens. You walked into your home tonight and thought it was just good luck, but I call it my covenant of protection. You often cry out to me for big, flashy miracles. You want to see the seas part, the mountains move, or the sky open up with gold. But I tell you, the greatest miracle is the one you are currently ignoring. The miracle of your existence in this very second. Every heartbeat is a drumbeat of my love, a rhythmic testimony that I am not finished with you yet. Today, I blocked a microscopic germ from taking root in your body. Today, I whispered to a stranger to show you a small kindness that kept your heart from hardening. Today, I gave you the strength to keep going when your own spirit was ready to give up. You are a walking, breathing miracle. You have been preserved through storms that have sunk ships much larger than yours. And you are still standing because I have placed a seal upon you that the world cannot break. If you can feel the truth of this protection deep in your marrow, if you realize that your presence here is a result of my divine shield, then do not let this moment of realization pass without an act of gratitude. Consider using the Super Thanks feature below to sow a seed of thankfulness for the life I have preserved today. This is not just a gift. It is a spiritual signal that you recognize the value of the breath in your lungs and the unseen battles won on your behalf. By offering this token of appreciation, you are anchoring your heart in gratitude and declaring that you see the supernatural in the natural. You are alive for a purpose. You are protected for a reason. And the miracle of today is just the beginning of the wonders I have in store for your tomorrow. My child, I have seen the way you look at the numbers in your bank account with a heavy heart. And I have heard the silent calculations you make in your head every night before you try to sleep. I know the weight of the debt that feels like a mountain on your chest, and I see the fear in your eyes when you wonder how you will provide for your future. But I want you to lift your gaze from the paper and the screen and look at me. I am the creator of the heavens and the earth. I own the cattle on 1,000 hills, and the gold and silver of the world are but dust beneath my feet. Do not allow the spirit of lack to convince you that your supply is limited by the economy, your job, or your background. Your supply is limited only by your connection to me, and I am an infinite ocean of abundance. You have been faithful in the little things, even when it was hard, and now I am preparing you to be a steward of much. Seek first my kingdom and my righteousness, and I promise you that all these things, the provision, the security, the abundance, will be added unto you. You have been chasing the blessing, but I am calling you to chase the blesser. When you align your heart with my purpose, you become a conduit for my wealth. I am not just looking to give you money. I am looking to give you a breakthrough that breaks the generational chains of poverty in your family. In the coming days, I am opening windows of heaven that you didn't even know existed. I am moving the hearts of people to favor you. I am bringing ideas to your mind that will create wealth. Expect the unexpected. I am the God of the sudden provision, and I can do more in 1 minute of my favor than you could do in 10 years of your own labor. In these next 7 days, I want you to pay close attention to the opportunities that cross your path. I am shifting the atmosphere around your finances. What felt like a drought is about to become a downpour. This is not about luck. It is about divine alignment. by believing that I am your provider and that a financial shift is beginning in your life right now. You are coming into agreement with the laws of my kingdom. You are declaring to the spiritual realm that you are no longer a slave to debt, but a master of the resources I am placing in your hands. Do not fear the lack, for lack is a lie of the enemy. I have never seen my children begging for bread, and I will not start with you. I am the God who provided manna in the desert and water from a rock. I am the God who multiplied the loaves and the fish. Your situation is not too difficult for me. I am taking your not enough and turning it into more than enough so that you can not only live in comfort, but be a blessing to others. Your hands were made to give, and I will make sure they are always full so that you can be a vessel of my generosity. Trust me with your needs, trust me with your dreams, and watch as I make a way where there was no way. The overflow is coming, and it begins with your faith today. My beloved, I have felt every sting of betrayal that has ever pierced your soul. I was there when you were discarded like something of no value, and I saw the confusion in your eyes when those you loved most turned their backs on your heart. You have wondered if there is something wrong with you, if you are perhaps unlovable or destined to walk this path alone. But I am here to tell you that I have been the one standing at the door of your heart, carefully guarding who enters and who exits. I have been cleaning your inner circle with a divine precision that you did not yet understand. Some of those people were removed, not because I wanted you to be lonely, but because their presence was a poison that was slowly killing the fruit of your spirit. I am clearing the space for relationships that are built on the foundation of my love, rather than the shifting sands of human convenience. You are not being rejected. You are being redirected into a circle of safety that only I could provide. I am the great physician, and my hands are moving over the scars of your past relationships right now. Every broken promise, every harsh word, and every abandonment has left a mark, but I am pouring the oil of my healing into those deep crevices. You have felt as though you had to harden your heart to survive, but I am giving you a heart of flesh once again, soft enough to love, but strong enough to remain whole in me. I am restoring your capacity to trust, not in people, but in my ability to lead you to the right people. I am teaching you that you are a prize to be cherished, not a project to be fixed or a tool to be used. As you begin to see yourself through my eyes, you will no longer settle for the crumbs of affection that the world offers. You are a child of the King, and you deserve a love that reflects the glory of my kingdom. The wounds are closing, and the bitterness is washing away, replaced by a peace that will attract the very soul-level connections you have been praying for. Watch as I begin to restore the hearts that were once cold toward you. For some, I am working in the shadows of their own souls, bringing them to a place of repentance and change, so that they can return to your life as the people I intended them to be. For others, I am closing the door permanently to make room for the new thing I am doing. I am bringing soul connections into your life, people who will see the light I have placed within you and run toward it, rather than trying to dim it. You will find friends who are closer than brothers and partners who are true helpers in your destiny. These are not accidental encounters. They are divine appointments. I am aligning your frequency with those who will celebrate your victories and carry you through your battles. Your house will no longer be a place of conflict, but a sanctuary of peace where love is the primary language spoken. If you believe that I am healing your heart and bringing divine connections into your life, let that belief settle deep within your spirit. This is more than a feeling. It is a spiritual declaration that you are letting go of the ghosts of your past to embrace the living blessings of your future. And as you feel the warmth of my presence healing your wounds right now, know that you are surrounded by the very atmosphere of love that I am cultivating for you. Do not fear the changes I am making in your social circle. Trust my pruning, for it is the only way to ensure that your life remains a garden of beauty and fruitfulness. I am your first love, and I am the one who will lead you to every other love that is meant to be yours. Your heart is being mended for a joy you cannot yet imagine. My child, do you feel the restlessness of the world as you step out of your door each morning? I see the way you scan the horizon, looking for shadows of danger or the chaos of the city that threatens to overwhelm your peace. But I want you to know that you are never walking alone on the asphalt of the streets or the dirt of the paths. I am the silent companion beside you in every vehicle, on every train, and in every airplane. I have commanded my angels to go before you and clear the way, to be your rear guard, and to hedge you in on every side. You have survived near misses that you didn't even notice, and you have been steered away from calamities because I held the steering wheel of your life when your own hands were trembling. When you leave your home, I am the one who locks the spiritual gates. And when you return, I am the light that welcomes you back. You are safe because my covenant of peace is not bound by geography or distance. It is bound by my eternal love for you. I see your home, the place where you lay your head and seek refuge from the storm. Do not let fear enter the threshold of your sanctuary. I am the watchman who never slumbers nor sleeps, standing at the post of your life with unblinking eyes. While you are away, I am guarding your walls. While you are sleeping, I am a shield over your roof, turning away the arrows of the night. I am cleansing the atmosphere of your living room, removing the residue of stress, the echoes of past arguments, and the whispers of the enemy that try to settle the corners of your mind. I am blessing the food on your table and the water in your pipes. Your home is not just a building of wood and stone. It is a territory of my kingdom, and I have placed a mark of protection on your doorposts that no darkness can cross. Peace be to your house, and peace be to all that you have. I am restoring the harmony within your family, settling the spirits of those you love, and replacing tension with a quiet confidence that I am in control of everything under your roof. The Lord will watch over your coming and going, both now and forevermore. These are not just ancient words on a dusty page. They are my personal living decree over your movement this very day. Whether you are traveling across the world for work or just driving to the grocery store, my eye is fixed upon you. I see the traffic, I see the delays, and I see the hazards that remain hidden from your human sight. I am the one who gives you the sudden intuition to take a different route or to wait an extra second at the green light. I am the one who puts a hedge of protection around your car and your body. You will go out with joy and be led forth with peace. You will not stumble, and your feet will not falter, because I am the ground you walk upon. Trust in my guidance, for I know the way through the wilderness, and I have already seen the safe arrival that awaits you. You are a pilgrim on this earth, but you are a citizen of heaven, and I ensure that my citizens are escorted with royal dignity wherever they go. As you return to your place of rest, let the weight of the journey fall from your shoulders. You have been kept by my power. You have been sustained by my hand. I am renewing your spirit so that your home becomes a place of true restoration and not just a place to wait for the next battle. I am inviting you to live in a state of perpetual arrival, a place where you are always at home in me, no matter where your physical body may be. If you believe in this divine protection over your home and your travels, let your faith be a shield that reinforces the walls of your home. You are walking under the shadow of the Almighty. Every time you leave and every time you return, remember that I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end of your journey. You are safe. You are home, my beloved. I have watched you white-knuckle your way through life for far too long. I have seen you holding on so tightly to your plans, your reputation, and your fears that your hands have grown cramped and your soul has grown weary. You have become the manager of your own universe, trying to orchestrate every detail, worry about every outcome, and fix every broken person around you. But I am asking you today, as your Father who loves you, how is that working for you? The exhaustion you feel is the result of trying to do my job with your limited human strength. You were never designed to carry the weight of the future. You were designed to carry the peace of the present. I'm standing here, right now, with my arms wide open, asking you to perform the most difficult and yet the most liberating act of your entire journey. The act of final surrender. Surrender is not giving up. It is moving up to a higher level of trust. It is the moment you finally admit that your way isn't working and that my way is perfect. When you let go of the control you never truly had, you finally give me the space to do what only I can do. To surrender sounds like weakness to the world. But in my kingdom, it is the highest form of strength. It is a posture of the heart that says, Holy Spirit, I'm not in charge. You are. It is yielding your will to my spirit, allowing me to move the pieces of your life into their proper alignment. Imagine your life as a vessel on a vast, turbulent ocean. You have been rowing with all your might against the current, blisters on your hands and sweat on your brow, wondering why you aren't making progress despite your effort. I am asking you to drop the oars and lift your sails. When you surrender, you allow the wind of my spirit to carry you. You stop fighting the circumstances and start flowing with the grace. This doesn't mean you become passive. It means you become peaceful. It means you stop obsessing over the how and start trusting in the who. When you take your hands off the steering wheel of your life, I take over the navigation. I know the shortcuts through the storms and the secret passages to the blessings that you could never find on your own. I want you to identify the one thing you are most afraid to lose right now. Is it a relationship you are trying to save? A financial situation you are trying to manipulate? A reputation you are trying to protect? That very thing is what is standing between you and your miracle. You are holding it so tightly that I cannot heal it, transform it, or multiply it. I am asking you to lay it down at my feet today. Not because I want to take it away, but because I want to make it holy. When you release your grip, you release the pressure that is suffocating your joy. I am the God who can turn your nothing into everything. But I need your empty hands first. If you will take your hands off your problem and focus on my presence, I will put my hands on your problem with a power you cannot imagine. The shift you have been praying for is waiting on the other side of your yes. When you stop worrying, I start working. When you are still, I fight your battles. This is the divine exchange I am offering you in this sacred moment. You give me your chaos, and I give you my crown. You give me your anxiety, and I give you my authority. Do not fear the unknown, for I am already there, waiting for you. The surrender you make today is the bridge to the life you are destined to live. It is the end of your striving and the beginning of my thriving within you. Lay it all down, the hurt, the hope, the what-ifs, and the if-onlys. Give them to me and watch how I make all things beautiful in my time. You are safe to let go, for I am the one who will catch you. My beloved child, we have reached the threshold of a new beginning, a sacred moment where the old things have passed away and all things are being made new. I want you to take a moment and feel the weight of the air around you, for it is thick with my presence and heavy with the glory of the shift that has just occurred in your spirit. You did not start this journey the same person you are now. By listening to my voice and opening the chambers of your heart, you have allowed me to perform a divine surgery, removing the leaden weights of fear and replacing them with the golden fire of faith. The tears you shed at the beginning of this message have been transformed into the fuel for your victory. You are no longer standing on the outside looking in. You are now standing in the center of my will, wrapped in an eternal covenant that cannot be broken by time, circumstances, or the schemes of man. Every word I have spoken to you today is now a living seed within your soul, and I am the one who will water it until it becomes a forest of blessing. I want to summarize the promises I have etched into your destiny today, so that you may carry them as a shield against the whispers of the enemy. I have promised you protection, an invisible wall of fire that will keep you safe from the arrows that fly by day and the terrors that stalk in the darkness. I have promised you provision, an overflow of resources that will turn your lack into abundance and your debt into a testimony of my generosity. I have promised you restoration, the healing of your heart, the mending of your relationships, and the recovery of every year that you thought was lost to the locusts of pain. I have seen every moment of your struggle, and I am redeeming it all. From the silent cries of your inner child to the exhaustion of your daily walk, I have gathered it all into my hands and turned it into the very foundation of your greatness. You are my chosen one. And from this moment forward, you walk with the authority of the King's child. Now, I am performing the final act of this divine appointment. I am placing my seal upon you. Feel the warmth of my hand as I press my signet ring upon your forehead, marking you as my own, so that every spirit in the unseen realm knows you are under my absolute protection. I am placing my seal upon the doorposts of your home, declaring it a sanctuary where peace and joy will dwell from this day forth. I am placing my seal upon your bank accounts and your hands, so that whatever you touch shall prosper, and whatever you sow shall return to you 100-fold. This is not a temporary feeling. It is an eternal decree. The contract of your suffering has been shredded, and the covenant of your peace has been signed in my own light. You are no longer a victim of your past. You are the architect of a future built on my promises. The shifting you felt in your spirit is now becoming a visible reality in your physical world. This prophecy is now yours, but a prophecy must be sealed with the breath of the believer to be fully activated. Do not stay silent in the face of such a revelation. If you believe that your life has changed, if you believe that the miracle is already on its way, and if you are ready to walk into this new level of your destiny, then seal this word now and forever. Type Amen, or it is done in the comments right now to lock this blessing into your life. By typing these words, you are not just making a comment. You are making a spiritual declaration that vibrates through the heavens, confirming your agreement with my will. Do not let the enemy steal this seed. Protect it with your words and cover it with your faith. Let the world know that you are a child of the living God who has heard his voice and received his favor. Be a vessel of this light, not just a reservoir. There are others in your life, others in this world, who are drowning in the very darkness you have just escaped. They are praying for a sign, crying out for the same peace you now possess. Do not keep this treasure to yourself. Share this message with at least 3 people who are in need of my protection and my promise. When you make sacrifices to help others' dreams and to bring light to their shadows, I will make sure your own dreams come to pass with even greater speed. As you spread this word, you are expanding my kingdom, and the blessings you release to others will return to you in a torrential downpour of grace. You are a light bearer now. Go and shine in the places that are still cold and dark. As we conclude this sacred dialogue, remember that I am not leaving you. I am the Alpha and the Omega, and I will be with you in every step of the journey that lies ahead. If you have felt the divine resonance of this message, I invite you to join this family of light permanently. Like this video once more and subscribe to this channel to stay anchored in my frequency. By doing this, you are telling me and the universe that you desire to stay in this flow of daily revelation and protection. This family is your spiritual home, a place where your faith will be nourished and your spirit will be strengthened. Go forth now with your head held high, for you are loved with an everlasting love, protected by an almighty hand, and destined for a glory that the world cannot contain. Peace be unto you, my beloved child. It is finished. It is done. It is yours.